hands in the air, let me hear you shout.
Questions from constituents or just folks who have an interest in our Facebook pages. When they present some questions, is try to give a couple-minute answer to the question. So we're going to do a couple this week. One is from Glenn Luther, who's a young man from back home in the district who has moved down to Washington now. He had some questions about economic development back in the 17th district. We're kind of in the midst of the presidential primary, and so NAFTA and globalization and economic development's a real big issue back in the district. But Glenn wants to know what exactly we're doing to try to create some jobs. And one of the issues that, kind of a broad issue that we're working on is, since I've gotten on the Appropriations Committee last year, is to try to bring money home, congressionally directed spending, also known as earmarks, to invest into local projects back home that are going to help us create jobs. And these have kind of gotten a bad rap, but for communities like ours who need the investment, they prove to be pretty beneficial. So a couple I'll share with Glenn and others. We've created a Defense Center of Excellence with a company called M7. It's a Center of Excellence in Metrology, which is the study of measurements. And they're working out of the Youngstown Business Incubator, partnering with YSU. I think we got them close to $2 million to try to start this Center of Excellence. Mike Garvey, who is the CEO of the company, is now pulling in PhDs from Carnegie Mellon and Ivy League schools up in the Northeast to really drive the research. A lot of what we're trying to do is try to move into these, alternative energy, high technology, computer programming jobs, and that's one instance where we've created the Center of Excellence where we want to pull in private sector money. We've also, over the past couple of years, got a couple $1 million for the engineering department, the old engineering department. It's now the STEM college at YSU to do advanced research in materials. They're building concrete canoes that actually float, steel foam. They're really trying to get into the advanced materials, with the theory being that if we're doing the research locally, that the manufacturing and production will be done locally as well. Money for water lines and sewer lines, after school programs, programs at the United Methodist Community Center. So in a very broad way, try to invest in our infrastructure, but also do the high-tech investments. Another company, Ajax, up in Warren, we got them a couple $1 million. They're basically creating a mobile foundry where if you're in the field of battle, you can make spare parts for your trucks. This is a company right in Warren. They employ over 1,000 people. We want to make sure that they stay on the cutting edge of technology. Parker Hannafin, which is a Cleveland-based company, they have over 1,000 steel workers working in Youngstown. We got them a few $1 million for, they have like a hydraulic project that's in garbage trucks, but will also be in windmills. So, Glenn, in the broad sense, we're trying to invest into these high-tech companies or companies that are doing research and development or research and development at local institutions in Youngstown that are going to yield long-term economic development benefits. Our next question is from Abby Rossi. A question about the relationship between lobbyists and members of Congress. This has been a hot topic, and lately, over the past few years, many members of Congress have ended up in prison because of their inappropriate relationship that they have with lobbyists. And we are passing strong ethics reforms here in the House to make sure that there is no clear connection between lobbyists and the kind of work members of Congress are doing. I think the solution to this problem is to publicly fund our campaigns. I think the more we get money out of the political process, the better off we're going to be. Members of Congress and governors and any office you really run for nowadays spend an enormous amount of time raising money, which I think takes away from the work that you should be doing. And I think it's the publicly financed campaign would look much different, and I think the government would look much different. You see many instances where the very special interests who have a lot of money, multinational corporations, the people who make really boatloads of money, get their voice heard, I think, at a higher level than sometimes the average person does. So I think anyway that probably the solution, Abby, to correct this problem is to publicly finance our campaigns. I think it's worth a few bucks that every taxpayer would have to kick in order to kind of break that link and make sure that everything's on the up and up.
Do you mind if I take the stack of books off?
Yeah, I do mind. We only have the shot here where this is what I do.
Do it right here.
Will you get this guy under control? Yeah, why do you try to change me?
I'm sorry.
We started a little bit of a relationship. Now he wants me to be different. All right.
Thank you.
I want the communications team out of the office now.